Anakin Beats.
Hello and welcome to Can't Smash, your unlicensed, unofficial PlayStation channel. So as you know, I've got my PS5 now and I've been playing Spider-Man Miles Morales as my first game on the PS5 experience. And wow, this game was a treat to play. Like, seriously. The Rad Brad said this was the best release title for any console ever, and I really agree with him. The game is genuinely phenomenal and an excellent experience that I'd recommend for anyone. Having just completed the game, I wanted to break down what makes it tick and why it's held so highly in regard in my heart. Firstly, it's a strong character empathy. So let's face it, we all came into this thinking, we're playing a Spider-Man spin-off here. This ain't the real Spider-Man, bruv. This ain't Peter Parker. This is Miles Morales. And that's what Harlem and the world that this game is set in all think as well. They all think this is Spider-Man's sidekick, the new Spider-Man, the kid. Well, this is the opportunity for Miles to prove to the world, including the player, that this character is Spider-Man and he's here to stay. The game not only tries to change the opinions of the characters in the story, but also the player at home, and it's expertly done. And I've yet to find anyone who's finished this game and doesn't think of Miles as an excellent hero for this outing. He has the right emotional depth, he's got the right character abilities, he's phenomenal. Honestly, it's amazing. This is really the right approach to handle, well, I guess sidekicks in this case, and all other games should try this. I'd love to see a Nightwing game and they really try and delve off the success of the Arkham series and deliver something like this. The next point is excellent world building. So this game does have its slower moments, but they all contribute really well to building the world that Spider-Man lives in. I actually think this is done really well in comparison to the game's predecessor. So we didn't have anything in the game like the Mary Jane sequences or, ironically, those Miles hacking sequences, which, you know, when we played it we were like, oh, bloody hell, it's one of these bits again. An example of how this is done better is in Spider-Man Miles Morales. We see a group of characters meet at Miles' mum's flat, and it genuinely just helps to build the story and help the player understand the current dynamic in Miles' household and his life. It's actually pretty fun. It's just a really interesting sequence to play. It is slower, but it helps build that world in a more seamless way than forcing you to play as Mary Jane taking photos. Through this short sequence, we understand and we see how the family is recovering from his father's death and how this plays a big role in Miles' motivation to both be Spider-Man and to help the little guy, which, as we all know, is what being Spider-Man is all about. I think this is how you do world building right, and I really hope we get to see more of it in the future. Next up, we have to talk about the gameplay. Like, honestly, let's face it, the gameplay from Spider-Man PS4 was unbelievably slick and super fun to play. It borrows simple mechanics from the Batman franchise, but gave that Spidey flavor, and oh my god, it was fresh and amazing. Improving on that, Miles comes along with his bioelectricity and invisibility powers, which honestly really changed up the game and make it even more satisfying than it was before. This is a madness when you think about it, bro. Like, I don't know how they made this game even better than Spidey PS4, but well done, Insomniac, you beasted it. I do have a slight concern on this though. I do have a slight concern, and that is, frankly, how am I going to go back to playing as Peter Parker now when I've got the bioelectricity and everything that you can do as Miles? Wow, like, it's going to be so, I dare I say, bland playing back as the normal Spider-Man? Like, how are we going to change this up? Really intrigued to see how they play this in Spider-Man 2. But, you know, I have faith in Insomniac. They killed it with this one. They killed it with Spidey PS4. No doubt they'll kill it with Spidey 2. To sum up and to finish my review on this game just makes me realize that I cannot wait for the next Spider-Man and a full-length game featuring Miles Morales. The only negative I can say, which isn't really a negative because it was advertised, is it's not that long. But everyone knew what they're picking up here. So having said that, the story isn't that long, but there's loads of side missions and collectibles to stretch this game out as long as the player wants. I really do think it's worth the money. If you're a little bit on the broke ends, then probably wait a couple of months and buy it afterwards, but definitely buy it still. I recommend it to anyone who played and enjoyed the first game, and even newcomers to the series. Do cop this because it is well worth it, especially if you got that PS5. But yeah, what do you guys think? Have you played or do you want to cop? let me know down in the comments. As always, if you liked the video, then drop a like. And if you really like the video, then just a reminder that I'm a super small channel. And most of YouTube doesn't know I exist, man. This is madness. So hit that subscribe button, because we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. See ya.